Right now, you may be sitting in a chair. Maybe it is an office chair with wheels under it, a cushion beneath you, a backrest holding your spine, and a desk keeping your hands at the perfect height. Maybe you are on a sofa, half reclined, one leg folded under you, your body slowly melting into the fabric while a screen glows in front of your face. Maybe you are in a car seat, strapped into a machine moving faster than any animal your ancestors ever chased. You barely think about it. The chair is so ordinary that it almost disappears. You enter a room, and the room offers your body a place to stop. A waiting room has chairs. A classroom has chairs. A restaurant has chairs. An office is basically a landscape of chairs, arranged in rows, around tables, behind screens, facing authority, facing work, facing one another. We call this rest. We call it comfort. But something strange happens when comfort becomes the default shape of the body. Your legs go quiet. Your hips close. Your spine leans back into support. Your feet touch the floor, but not the earth. Your muscles are not fully working. Your body is not fully asleep. You are somewhere in between. Held up. Switched off. And for most of human history, this kind of rest barely existed. Now imagine the same human need before chairs. Not before luxury chairs. Before chairs as ordinary background objects. Before sofas, office seats, school desks, train benches, car seats, waiting rooms, gaming chairs, and padded furniture designed to remove every small demand from your muscles. There is no polished floor. No cushion. No backrest. No ergonomic curve. No climate-controlled room. No calendar telling you when work ends and leisure begins. There is only ground. Cold ground. Warm ground. Dust. Grass. Stone. Packed earth near a fire. Wet hide. Ash. Smoke. The smell of meat, sweat, wood, and damp skin. A child crying somewhere behind you. Someone sharpening stone. Someone watching the dark line of trees. Someone listening for movement beyond the firelight. Ancient humans needed rest. Their bodies were not machines. After walking, carrying, digging, climbing, gathering, butchering, making tools, tending children, crossing distance, and surviving weather, they needed to stop. But stopping did not always mean collapsing into stillness. To rest on the ground, you had to keep some relationship with your own weight. You squatted. You kneeled. You sat cross-legged. You crouched near the fire. You shifted from one side to another. You leaned on a hand. You rose when needed. Your body was quiet, but not absent. So here is the question most people never think to ask. What did ancient humans do before chairs? And what did their way of resting understand about the human body that modern life has forgotten? The answer is not simply that ancient people moved more and rested less. That is too simple. The deeper answer is that ancient humans rested differently. Their rest often kept them lightly connected to the ground, to the group, to their tools, to heat, to danger, and to the possibility of sudden action. Modern chairs solved a real discomfort. They made rest easier, cleaner, softer, more efficient. But they also created a new kind of stillness. A rest so supported that the body can begin to disappear from its own life. Most people imagine ancient humans as almost permanently active. Running after animals, escaping predators, marching across landscapes, lifting stones, carrying spears, living in a state of constant exertion. But that picture is wrong. Ancient life was physically demanding, but the human body has never loved wasting energy. In a world where food had to be found, dug, chased, cracked, carried, shared, and protected, unnecessary effort could be dangerous. To conserve energy was not laziness. It was intelligence. This is the first misconception modern life creates. We think the opposite of movement is failure. We shame ourselves for wanting to sit down. We treat rest as a weakness that must be overcome by motivation, discipline, and guilt. But your ancestors were not trying to burn calories for no reason. They moved because the world required it. They rested because the body required it. The real question is not whether humans were built to rest. They were. The question is, what kind of rest they were built for. One of the clearest clues comes not from a fossil, but from living observation, and it must be used carefully. The Hadza of Tanzania are not ancient humans frozen in time. No living people are. Their culture is modern, changing, and fully their own. But because Hadza life has included hunting and gathering, walking, digging, foraging, and a much lower dependence on chairs than industrial life, researchers have studied their movement patterns as one useful window into a broader human possibility. In a 2020 study published in Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, researchers measured Hadza adults with activity devices and looked at how much time they spent in non-walking, non-standing postures. The surprising finding was not that they were active every moment. They were not. Hadza adults spent long hours in non-ambulatory postures, roughly comparable in total time to the amount many people in industrial societies spend sitting. But the shape of that rest was different. Much of it happened in postures such as squatting and kneeling, not chair sitting. Picture that carefully. A person is not walking, not hunting, not sprinting, not performing some heroic athletic act. They are resting, but they are resting in a squat, heels near the ground, knees folded, hips open, torso balanced. Or kneeling, weight distributed through legs and feet, body low, hands free. It looks simple. It is not. A chair lets your skeleton and furniture take over. A squat asks your ankles, calves, thighs, hips, and trunk to keep a quiet conversation going. Not a scream, not a workout, a whisper. Small contractions, subtle balance, pressure through the feet, awareness of the floor. A body still resting, but still participating. That detail matters. When the researchers measured muscle activity, squatting and kneeling involved more lower limb muscle activity than sitting in a chair. This does not mean everyone should abandon chairs or imitate another culture. It does not mean squatting is magic. But it suggests something important. The human problem may not be sitting itself. The problem may be motionless support. This is where the chair becomes stranger. A chair is not only a place to rest. It is a technology that changes the workload of the body. It lifts you off the ground. It fixes the height of your hips. It narrows the range of postures you use. It makes it easy to stay in one shape for a very long time. At first, that feels like mercy. If you are tired, injured, old, sick, pregnant, carrying pain, or simply exhausted, a chair can be a beautiful invention. Modern seating protects many people from strain. It makes work possible. It gives comfort. It gives dignity. There is nothing noble about suffering on the floor when support is needed. But a support can become so complete that the body stops being asked questions. Before chairs became ordinary, rest had more variety. People could sit on the ground, squat, kneel, lean, recline, perch on a log, rest on a stone, fold one leg beneath them, shift near a fire, or move between postures without turning it into exercise. The body was not separated from the environment. It negotiated with it. Now place yourself inside an ancient evening. The group has stopped moving. The light is low. A fire is being fed. A stone flake is being shaped in someone's hands. A hide is being scraped. Plant foods may be pounded or processed. Children move in and out of the circle. Someone is repairing something that must work tomorrow. Someone is eating slowly. Someone is watching the edge of darkness. This is rest, but it is not emptiness. Much of human life happened close to the ground. Fire, food preparation, tool making, repair, care, conversation, and watching were not neatly separated into categories called work and leisure. The body lowered itself, but the senses stayed open. Rest was woven into attention, and the ground itself was information. Is it dry? Is it cold? Is the ash still warm? Is the child close? Is the tool within reach? Is the group calm? Did something move beyond the light? The modern chair often turns the world into a background. Ancient ground rest kept the world pressed against the skin. But here is where it gets even more interesting. Evolutionary biologist Daniel Lieberman has argued that humans did not evolve to exercise in the modern sense. Voluntary physical activity done only for health and fitness. We evolved to move when movement was necessary, rewarding, useful, or social. We also evolved to avoid needless exertion when energy mattered. That means the ancient body was not a machine built for constant effort. It was a negotiator. Spend energy when needed. Save energy when possible. Move for food, water, safety, children, play, travel, tools, ritual, and other people. Rest when you can. But rest in a world where the body still had to remain available. This changes the whole story. The modern office chair tells the body, you may stop now, but stay here for hours. The ancient ground posture may have told the body, you may rest now, but remain ready. One is stillness, supported from outside. The other is rest organized from within. Your nervous system understands this distinction more deeply than your thoughts do. Your muscles are not only engines for movement. They are also sensors. They tell your brain where you are in space. They help regulate posture, balance, blood flow, and readiness. Even small contractions are signals. A foot pressing into the ground, a hip adjusting, a spine balancing over the pelvis, a hand touching earth. These are not dramatic events, but they keep the body in dialogue with itself. Modern sedentary life often removes that dialogue. You can sit for hours while your mind races through emails, messages, tabs, numbers, tasks, and invisible demands. Your brain is overstimulated. Your body is undercalled. The ancient pattern is almost reversed. The body once carried real loads through real landscapes, while attention was anchored in weather, ground, fire, tools, faces, and hunger. Now the body is held in place while the mind runs everywhere. This may be one reason chair rest does not always feel like restoration. You can sit all day and still feel tired. Not because rest is bad, because passivity is not the same as recovery. The body needs rest, but not necessarily total muscular silence. It needs variation, pressure, release, small movement, shifts of weight, contact, rhythm. It needs to know where it is.